content marketing doesn't mean just writing. You actually have to have a larger strategy around how you're going to promote that content. Content marketing is a long-term play, but that doesn't mean it has to take a long time for it to work. I've been doing a lot of research on content, statistics, how people are achieving better results. We're doing a lot of testing, and a lot of publications out there will say that it takes 12 months for content marketing to work. And that's coming from the Content Marketing Institute, right? And I think that obviously they're using averages and data, and that's going to take into account a bunch of different things. And, you can always trust for averages to lie. But I think the thing that you really have to look at is there's a reason why it takes so long. And my belief is that it comes down to inefficient tactics. It comes down to poor targeting, and it comes down to a single funnel approach, meaning that they're only focusing on one part of the funnel, high funnel or only on low funnel. And I think that's really where a lot of people's issues come into play. Additionally, if you just try content marketing 100% by itself, it's still going to work. And if you're doing it the right way, it still can, have a lot of velocity for you and work quickly. But if you're not also pushing with ad spend, or you're not pushing with lead magnets, or you're not pushing with outreach, then it's not a complete campaign. You're only doing part of the work that you should be doing. And so, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to take your content marketing from, full ROI in 12 to 18 months and turn that into 3 to 6 months. So the first step is understanding the audience and the pain and the problems. If you're not speaking to those things, then you're not going to resonate with those people. That's bottom line, right? Whatever it is that you do, you're solving a problem for someone. And if you're not focused on that problem, then you weren't going to win anyways. And so that's step one. Then step two is you've got to look at high funnel, right? Which are people that are not quite problem aware. You've got to be looking at your mid funnel, which is the people that are aware of the problems, and you should probably know who they are, and you should speak to those problems for them. And then your bottom and your low funnel, which are going to be your lead magnets. If you don't have those three pieces engaged, then your content marketing is not going to be efficient. It's not going to be as effective as you want it to be. The third part of this is, how are you getting your content? Now, doing some research on statistics, the business to business marketers who are finding the most success are doing three things. One is producing high quality content. Now, that's going to be more than just taking 6 to 10 hours to write a blog post, which, by the way, is where high impact content comes from. You're going to need to include industry expertise, which means that whoever's producing the source of the content actually has to understand the industry and has to understand the jargon and has to understand the real insights and nuances of it. And then the third part of it is really understanding the audience. And so putting those three things together is hard for a lot of content teams. And I hope this is more helpful than it is sort of like, oh yeah, whatever. But the fastest way to do that is to use video. Use video to interview your experts. Use video to get that high quality content. That's going to shorten your production time. It's going to give you the industry insights that you actually need. And it's going to be able to allow you to produce multi-channel pieces of content. So it's not just the one, just that one written piece that it took you days and days to write. So is content marketing your sprinter? No, it's not. It's really not. But it's also not just a marathoner either. And it's more than just you've got to do this consistently forever and ever, and eventually maybe in a year people will show up. That's lazy to me. That's fully lazy. If you're a real marketer, you understand that you have to have an immediate, intermediate, and long range plan. And content marketing can do all those things for you, but you got to be a little bit smarter about it. So it can be slow, yes. And I think there's a lot of things like industry and competition and things that can create that. How old your company is, there's a lot, but it doesn't have to be. So if you're focusing on from the beginning, really knowing your audience, producing high quality content, using industry experts, and emphasizing video, you're going to get a lot farther a lot faster. But you have to remember you've got to promote that content. So you're going to have to do a multi-channel approach. You're going to have to do a full funnel approach. And you're going to have to consider looking at how you use ads to push your content out there. Don't wait for it to come around. I think that's probably why most people give up, or you see blogs that don't get enough content written for them. Try to make sure that you're attacking this from more than one angle, and you're going to get a lot better results.